This one we're going to have a look at treating functions as values. So in Go, functions are values just like integers and strings. And so the good thing about this is you can assign them to variables, pass them around and call them through those variables. Now, if you're from a language which does not do this, at first this may look a little strange, but when you get used to it, you see how flexible and how powerful this feature is. Okay, so let's have a demo. What do I mean by this? As you can see here, I've defined a function called greet, and it's just doing a simple thing. It's just printing out the word hello. But the main demo here is how we can actually use that as a value. So say, for example, I come up with a variable called say hello, short declaration syntax, and then greet. So no parentheses, we are just using the name of that function, and what that means is that we can call say hello just like a function. Go run main.go. Okay, so say hello, this variable becomes a function which we can call just like any other function. Reason being that greet is a function, say hello now holds a reference to that function, so calling say hello runs the same code as calling greet. So the function is not executed during an assignment, it only runs when you call it, i.e. it only runs here when we actually explicitly call it. Okay, let's have a look at function types. So how do I create a variable and give it a function type? In the same way as when you create a variable and you give it a string type or an integer type, how do you give it a function type? So var, just like we do for everything else, then we need a variable name. We shall call this operation. Next we need the type, and so when you use the type, which will be func, we also need to define that signature. So here we'll say it has two parameters. Both of those are integers, and that it returns an integer. Okay, so what this means is that we can now assign anything with the same signature or any function with the same signature. So I can say operation equals, and because the signatures match, integer, two integer parameters and an integer return, and that means that we can make that assignment. And so we can just call it like any other function. So result equals, we shall call operation, passing in some integers, we'll say 2 and 3. So it's going to add those together. This is what gets returned, a plus b. And then let's just print this out. So print out result. And we should see a result of 5. Let's go and run this, go run main.go, and indeed we get 5. So func int and returning int. So this part here is a function type, and that variable can hold any function with the same signature, and so this allows you to swap behavior easily. And one benefit of this is that you can choose your functions at runtime. So here I've created two functions, add and subtract. You'll notice that their signatures are the same. The inputs and the output, the returned values are the same. The only thing which changes are the actual internals. So they have the same interface. And so that means I can define a variable called calculate, which is a function type. I can assign add and then call calculate, which will do an addition, but by the same token I can also assign subtract because those signatures are the same, and then I can call calculate again, and this time it will subtract. So hopefully you're starting to see the flexibility of being able to do this. Now in the text version of the lesson there's a little bit more information, and it covers anonymous functions, which is something that we are going to cover in a dedicated lesson, but it's just showing you the flexibility of this and that you don't need to have a name. You can actually just inline this using something called an anonymous function. So here where this variable is being assigned, whereas previously we already had like a function called add or subtract, and we later assigned it. Here we're doing it all in one line using an anonymous function. But like I say, if anonymous functions are a bit hazy to you at the moment, it is something which will be in another lesson. Okay, time for a challenge. So this is just having a go at something which you've already seen me do, but it's good to get your hands on the keyboard, have a go at this, run the code yourself. So write a program that defines two functions, that takes two integers and returns an integer. Assign one of them to a variable of a function type, call the function through the variable, then reassign the variable to the other function and call it again, and then run it using go run main.go. So you've seen me try this with add and subtract. Why not use other mathematical operators? I'll leave it up to you. Pause me now and give that a go. So for my solution, I've done what I suggested there. I've gone with multiply and divide. As you can see, the signatures are the same. Two input parameters and one return value, all of those being integers, and the only thing which varies is the actual internals of those functions. And so what I need to do when I define this variable, give it a name and then the function type, but make sure it has the same signature as the functions which you want to use or which you want to assign to this. First of all, we'll try multiply. So I'm assigning multiply. Remember, you don't use the parentheses, only the function name. And then I'm just going to print this out. Well, I'm going to call it and print it out all in one line. So this first of all should multiply. So let's see what value we get here. Go run main.go. So 10 multiplied by 2 is 20. Then we'll do the same thing except using divide. I'll use the same numbers, nice round numbers, because we're using integers here. So next I assign divide. And then we're just going to call up and we're going to divide 10 by 2. So we should see 5. Let's run this. Okay, so we get 20 for our multiplication. Then we reassigned the variable to divide and divided 10 by 2, and then we got 5. So there you've seen functions as values. This is something that you'll see a lot in Go code, so it's important to understand it and to see what's happening and why you're able to do this. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Give the video a like. Make sure you subscribe for more Go Bytes if you want YouTube to show you more Go Bytes. If you have a friend that's learning Go and you think they'd enjoy this lesson, why not share it with them? Let's all learn together.